One of the biggest impacts we have on the local environment is the amount of hard surfaces we've created. Now, during a large rainstorm, all of that rain hits our roofs, driveways, sidewalks, and roads, and empties into our storm drain system. That water is directed into our local streams, creeks, and rivers. This is way more water than they have evolved to deal with. And it causes problems not only because of the huge amount of water that enters these waterways, but the poor quality of that water from picking up the contaminants and pollutants along the way. Today we're going to show you 2 innovative ways that slows down the water and allows it to soak more naturally into the earth. First, we have our driveway. And the concept is actually quite simple. The pavers have been designed with gaps in between that allow the water to trickle through and be absorbed into the ground. Very similar to what would happen if there was no driveway here. But there's more to this driveway than meets the eye. To find out what that is, we spoke to Frank Tassone of Tassone Landscaping.
First off is excavation. So for a residential driveway, we excavate approximately 15 inches. And then we set in membrane, a permeable membrane, which contains the gravel. Then it's backfilled with a typo aggregate. And then we put another membrane, which traps contaminants. Then we do another layer of HPB aggregate. And then the final step is installing the pavers.
As you can see, this is not a do-it-yourself project. You'll want to hire a contractor that has experience installing these types of permeable driveways. And while the numbers, expect it to take 3 or 4 days for the entire installation, depending on the size of your driveway. And cost for this type of driveway, $12,000 to $15,000. Now let's move on to our second project, our rain garden. This is our rain garden. Now, to get an understanding of exactly what that is, we talked to our designer, Dean Young.
Well, the rain garden is designed to pond water and to hold water on the landscape to allow it to slowly infiltrate into the ground.
These are the steps we took to build this rain garden. First, we dig a hole and fill it about halfway with coarse gravel. On top of the coarse gravel, we lay 10 centimeters of pea gravel. On top of the pea gravel, we lay a mixture of sand, soil, and compost. And the last step in finishing off your rain garden is planting water-tolerant plants native to your region. This rain garden is larger than normal because we're collecting the water from the roofs of both of these houses. There's also this long pipe sticking out that isn't usually found in rain gardens. I asked Dean what it's for. So what is this, Dean? What are we looking at here?
Well, this is a monitoring well that we're installing in this rain garden. It's not a typical thing that most people would put in, but we're interested in monitoring how quickly the water drains in this rain garden.
So after a large event, it would be nice to see how fast the water is actually absorbing into the ground.
Yeah, and then we can tell how high the water is coming as well.
This is our final rain garden. Now, we haven't planted it yet because we wanted to show the sunken nature. The water comes from these 2 downspouts, which then comes through 2 pipes that drain at these river rocks. Now, the point of the river rocks is to prevent the surface material being washed away during a rainstorm, and it actually allows the water to be soaked into the garden evenly. The final step in finishing off our rain garden is planting it with water-loving native species. Because this is a test project, the steps involved in creating this garden were a lot more extensive than your regular rain garden you would install in your front yard. However, installing a rain garden is a great do-it-yourself project. but I recommend that you take the time to do the appropriate research. There's a number of resources online, and it's always good to consult a landscape professional that has experience installing rain gardens in the past.